Okay, I'm gonna retry this. Anyway, before I begin, because I forgot to say your word of the week earlier, your word of the week is hospital. So that's done and over with. Um, I guess that my mic didn't work the last time I uploaded the video, so I'm going to quickly intuitively improvise what I said. Basically, I just said that there's not really a lot that's going on, as per usual, because, like I said, it's just been that kind of. It's gonna be that way until we move. Um, Josh is out with a friend right now. I'm not exactly happy about that. Not because I'm not angry at him for leaving. It's more along the lines of I am really annoyed that I have work in 5 hours. I was in bed up until a couple minutes ago because for some reason I got the inkling to double check and see what was going on with my video. Don't ask me. I just had the urge to get online, and I'm glad I did because obviously the audio is not working. I don't know what's going on. This has happened once before with one of my videos. It just didn't decide to work. So now that I know that the sound is working, because I've got the little bar flashing, I'm going to actually record my video, and I'm not going to do anything special or anything at this moment, because I just don't care. I'm too tired. I just want to go back to bed. So I'm going to try and record this real quick and then go back to bed. Anyway. I talked to you today, so you know what's going on, my current situation in life, and so on and so forth. Josh has $400 that's due to his university by the end of this month, and he realized that and hasn't saved up any of it, so he's got to contact his parents and ask about that. So that's the biggest thing that's going on in our lives right now, and we'll have to pay them back, which is fine. It happens, but I'm just kind of like. Granted, that's just how I feel right this instant in general, because I'm tired and I have work at 3 and, 3:30 and everything else. I don't know. I don't want to talk about anything. Because most of the time during that video I was just yelling at my little acrid, which is what that little character's called, in Risk of Rain. So it's kind of whatever. Sometimes it's hard to find 4 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. It really is. Anyway, life's been kind of slow recently. Kathy's been yelling at me. Not like yelling at me, but she's been getting after me every time I turn around because she's like, no, you're making me do interviews and everything. Thank you for officially congratulating me. Now that the entire family knows about the engagement, I can actually talk about it and everything. It was kind of, not necessarily up in the air, it's more along the lines of just how it all happened. It's going to be entertaining to tell Dad that in the future. Stopped by and talked to my father earlier this week. He mentioned that he's worried about Josh and I going to law school, and him going to law school and me going with him to Massachusetts, and that's really all he's worried about, is that the two of us aren't going to keep in contact with each other and we're going to lose everything, yada yada yada. My dad's a pessimist. I love him dearly, but he's a pessimist, and he expects everything to fall apart, and I don't blame him for being that way, because he had a marriage that fell apart, and of course, when that happens, you kind of assume that everything else is going to go kind of sadly. He expects everything to kind of fall apart when we go to Massachusetts, because Josh is going to spend a lot of time working on studying and everything else, because law school's hard, and he had a friend that disappeared for like 5 years because of law school. And I don't think Dad realizes that the difference between having a friend and having a fiance is the fact that his friend didn't show up very often to hang out with them, whereas Josh and I are going to share a place. We might not be able to spend a lot of time with each other, but at the same time, we're going to be sharing a place, which means that even if he has school, and even if I'm working, or if I have school too, and we're both studying our butts off, we'll still be able to share a bed at night and everything else. There's some things that you just kind of can't remove. And the fact that the two of us are going to have a bed that we both share is kind of a big thing. But I don't think he thinks about it in that way, which I understand. It's probably better that he doesn't worry about that stuff, because knowing him, he'd probably worry himself into a panic. But it's just kind of how it is. Like I said, that's kind of one of the main things that Dad said that he's worrying about. And, like, I understand his fears, and I appreciate that he's worried about them and he's willing to share them with me, but at the same time, I don't think he realizes exactly how different it is to have a friend versus a fiance. Another thing is I found out how he found out about the move to Massachusetts. Apparently somebody on campus knows, even though Josh and I have not told anybody about the move at all. Like, I've told my boss and a few people at work, and that is it. And the people at work, the only person that associates with people I know is Tori, and Tori doesn't associate with everybody in Bash. So whoever found out and told my dad that we're moving to Massachusetts, I'm just kind of like, and how did you find out? Because we haven't posted anything, except for, unless they immediately assumed that Josh and I were moving together as soon as Josh posted that he got accepted to the University of Western New England, which is possible. It is very possible, but that's a really far jump, and the fact that my dad got angry about that and asked my grandparents was just kind of like, okay, that's brilliant. Anyway, now that I've actually recorded and everything, and it actually has audio, this should be fine. I'm going back to bed. I'll see you on Monday.